Hi, everybody. My name is Miss Hendricks, and I will either be your eighth grade math teacher this year or I will be your algebra teacher. So, Miss Prain has asked us to talk a little bit about ourselves before we talk more about the class. So, just a little bit about myself. This is my 20th year teaching. I taught in multiple states, 2 years in Florida, 2 years in Colorado, 16 years in Texas. About 12 years of those were in the Richardson area. So the last 4 years I've been here in Lake Travis. My first year I was at LTMS. And then when they built beautiful Bee Cave, I decided to move closer to my house, which is in Dripping Springs. As you can see, I love math. My husband would say I'm really math dorky. I love sports. I actually ran track in college at UTA. And then I finished all of my education certification through Texas A&M Corpus Christi. And I love my boys. I'm a mom of boys, and you'll see that in the next picture. But the picture you see in front of you is one of the pictures we had taken right outside our house in Colorado. Just a little bit about my sources of strength that get me through the day, week, whatever, are my two boys. On the left is Taylor. He is my righty. He's 9. I don't know why I chose that picture. I don't know just because I had a name on the back or not, but he also plays, he not only plays baseball, he plays competitive soccer as well. On the right is Brandon, and he is my lefty. And we have no idea why he's left-handed. Nobody on either side of our families is left-handed, but I'm very proud of my two boys. He plays competitive baseball and plays basketball. The picture at the top is a picture of us from Florida. We went back to Florida this summer and saw some of our old friends, and of course, had to take in a couple of baseball games along the way. The picture you see on the left, once again, very much a sports girl. And that was a picture of us at the Rose Bowl 2 years ago. And then just one more of us, once again, sports related, and just another picture of us in Colorado. So you can see we spend a lot of our time on Saturdays watching sports, playing sports, going from sport to sport. So we enjoy that. All right. So, as you know, the grading policy is the same across the board for all grades. Um, and you can see for our class in general, all major grades will be test. Closed note most of the time. Our first one was an open note test just because it was at the beginning, and we felt like that would be the nice thing to do. We might have some projects, we might not. It just kind of just see how the year goes. But if we do have a project and it is a major grade, we will let the students know that. The other grades, the minor grades, especially for Math 8, Math 8 is a packet-based class. So hopefully you've already seen that packet. I'll talk about that more when we talk about when I separate the two groups out, Math 8, Algebra. Algebra has daily grades that they submit in Schoology, but most of the minor grades are going to be daily work grades or our small little quiz, three question quizzes for Math 8. Sorry if I keep going back and forth. I'm just trying to kind of cover my basis. But anyways, minor grades, major grades. For Math 8, here is an overview of our curriculum. Our curriculum this year is much tighter in the fall, and then in the spring we have quite a bit more time than we have, just the way that the calendar fell this year. The same way for Algebra 2 or as well. But if you have more questions on this, please let me know. I'm more than willing to go over that with you. I helped align the curriculum for Math 8 this summer, so I'm pretty well versed in the Math 8 curriculum, being as I've taught it for 20 years. So Math 8, what you will see on a daily basis, or what your student will see when they come in, Every day they'll come in, and pretty much every day, they'll come in and they'll take like a mini assessment that assesses what they learned from the previous day. It's not a major grade, it is a daily grade, but it's a chance for them to show me what they've learned from the previous day, from the lesson, from them going home and practicing. And something else we've added this year was they can put their answers into an assignment in Schoology and it will grade it for them. That way, if they know if they're doing those problems right or wrong. If they come across a problem that they consistently get wrong, they're more than welcome to come in that morning and get help before the 3QQ. So it really is a practice of their skill. And all I do is give them credit for trying that practice that night. Okay. So while they're doing that 3QQ, I'm taking attendance and I'm also walking around and I'm checking to see if they completed that practice. Did they try? Did they go out and actually practice those skills that I went over with them in class? Okay. All lessons and practices will be located in the packet for that unit or week. Typically, the packet will go to the next assessment. So when kids used to say, Miss Hendricks, what's on the test? And I would just think, oh, this, and this. Well, now that we're gone to a packet-based system, now I can just literally lift up the packet and say, everything that's in that packet is going to be on that next quiz, or everything in that packet is going to be on that next test. So kids literally have in their hands what's going to be on there. And then after I walk around and they're done with their 3QQ and I'm finished checking that practice, which usually takes about 7 to 8 minutes, then we do either our lesson for the day or our discussion for the day or our activity for the day, which is also located in that packet. So once again, that packet's kind of like their mini textbook. And then their practice assignments should be completed or tried before the next class. Once again, it's them practicing that skill. That's why I only give them a completion grade for that. You should expect to see some sort of practice every day at home. All right. If you have more questions about that or would like a more in-depth explanation, once again, you can email me. All right, so this is for Math 8. This is what our folder looks like in Schoology. I wanted to share that with you so you could kind of see what is in each unit. They are going to be done by unit this year instead of by week. So in order for you kind of to see the overall, I wanted to put like the calendar for that unit in there. So you can see the calendar, what it would look like for that unit, where some tests may lie. And they're going to be set up the same for each one. There'll be a folder that has the packets, any add-ins like activities that we do in the class, and any foldables that are not located in that packet. So if a kid loses their packet, they'll need to reprint that packet. I've only sent off copies for enough for most kids or all kids to have one copy. Something I do include for everybody is I include a copy of the answer keys. So the second folder here is a copy of the keys. Once again, this is for Math 8 on level. In there, you'll find any keys for any add-ins, like we did an activity earlier this week. I put in the key to that. So in case they got home and they wanted to go through and check their answers again, they could. A copy of completed notes are in there. So if your child requires a copy of those, even if they don't, it's available to them. Okay. The other thing that you'll see in there is you'll see video lessons. If you click on the video lessons, say your child missed 1.2, compare and ordering real numbers. Open the video lesson. I've already pre-recorded or recorded prior a video for that teaches them that lesson. So if you know they're going to be out, should already be available. The last part will be the practices, and you can't see it there. Oh, no, go back. I can't see it because my toolbar is in the way. But the last part is where they're going to put in their actual practice. It's the practice assignments, and it's where they can put in their answers from their daily practice, and Schoology will grade it for them, and they can see if they are understanding the concepts. It also gives them some confidence in their skills, I think, along the way as well. Once again, if you have any questions, please let me know. All right, now I'm going to move to algebra. Here's the algebra curriculum for the course of the year. Over the course of the year, remember, algebra is a high school credit course, and we treat it as such. So they will have a semester exam and a final exam for algebra. So make sure that you that they understand that. I try to reiterate that to them a lot. They also have the algebra EOC, which is how they get credit for the course. They must pass that algebra end of course exam to receive their pass fail credit. Hopefully, their pass credit. They should pass credit. Okay. What they'll see in algebra on a daily basis. Algebra is a flipped lesson model. Okay. We don't teach during the class period. The class period is time for the students to go through and work through their practice during class. That way, if they need to ask the teacher for help or if they want to work in a group, so we're trying to teach them how to work as a group, to go through their practice problems, and we can answer and we can work on any of those problems. Their homework in algebra is actually to watch the video lesson for the next day. So every night they should be bringing home a copy of the notes, which are given to them every day. And then they watch the video lesson, take notes on the video lesson at home, take any notes, the questions they might have, bring those in. And then the next day, what I do is I do about a I would say 5 to 10 minute review lesson on some of the problems that aren't covered during the video lesson. And then I answer and then answer any questions they might have over the video lesson. And then they have time to work on the practice problems in class. All practices are submitted through Schoology. I don't take up any paper copies of their practices. All I look to see is that they've submitted their work and they've submitted the correct work. Once again, for algebra, the answer keys are located within Schoology as well. So let's look at Schoology. I will include the link to this presentation for you and those of you that are in algebra. I've also included a link to a flipped lesson model. So if you want to read some more about that, you can. So algebra, this is what your Schoology page looks like. Once again, it is by unit as well. You will see that there is a copy of blank notes. So if you walk out the door and forget to grab your notes for the evening, you can always go in there and print out your own. The next folder is the lesson videos. That's where you will go and you will open up the video, watch the entire video, and take notes and bring those notes in the next day. Once you're here the next day, then we will complete those lesson video notes or blank notes, okay? And then you'll open up the textbook and you will do whatever practice assignments have been assigned to you. So we'll be working in class with these last 3 folders. The textbook pages is where you're going to go. Instead of giving everybody, instead of having a textbook, we have gone through and we have already pulled the textbook pages for you for each of those assignments. We've given you the answer keys for those assignments, and then where it says practice assignments is where the assignments are submitted. Once again, if you have questions, please email me, which I will give you my email at the end. All right, so hopefully, if you haven't already, you have decided or you have gone and purchased a TI-84 graphing calculator. The TI-84 graphing calculator, is what is allowed through the state for any state testing from now through high school. It's also pretty much what the calculator you will probably be using in college as well. They are quite expensive. We do understand that. While they're in class, they will be given a calculator to use within the classroom, but they do need to be practicing for both Math 8 and algebra with this calculator at home. We cannot help them during any testing with the calculator. That's something that the state expects that they understand how to use. Okay. So you can get this anywhere. Just make sure that you're getting the TI-84 or the TI-84 Plus. It's a TI-84 Plus or a TI-84 Plus CE. That means color edition. Do not get the SE. It is not allowed for testing. All right. So the last thing is, or not the last thing, but one of the things I do, and a lot of my students have already subscribed, and you're more than welcome to subscribe too, is every Friday I take a picture of the week at a glance for the next week. And I send it in a third party texting through a third party texting app called Remind. You do not have to subscribe to the app, but if you send a text, if you're in Math 8, if you send a text, this text to 81010, or for algebra, if you send at HHFA4KE3 to 281010, what it will do is it will put you with that class. And every Sunday, I pre send a text that gives you kind of a week at a glance for that class. So you'll know if your student is having a test or a quiz, or if they're what exactly they're doing. If you want to know what lesson they're doing, you'll kind of get a pre glimpse into what's going to be happening for the week. Sometimes I'll also send some reminders. Don't forget to do this. Don't forget to do that. And it's just a real easy way for me to communicate, and you don't have to go find it. It's a text, so it comes directly to you. So that is included in the PowerPoint that I'll share as well. Last thing is there is my email. I really respond really quickly, I would have to say, to email, or if I feel like, hey, you know what, this would just be easier in a conversation, I'm more than likely just to pick up the phone and give you a call. Um, if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm more than willing to answer any questions you might have on any of the stuff that I went over. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Sorry we couldn't have done this in person. I look forward to instructing your student or coaching your student through this math year. Have a good evening.